all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service.
Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Hey parents, we all try to be extra careful with our children in the car, but then we get an important call or text. Remember, our children are watching. Make every drive a good example. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
Hello, my name is Travis Williams, President and CEO of Academics and Athletic Consulting, focusing on educating and empowering tomorrow's collegiate athletic leaders. My passion is for the education and genuine concern and care for today's student athlete. It's the centerpiece of my life's work. A college education, both in and out of the classroom, is a truly rewarding benefit. For more information on AAC, you can go to www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Once again, www.academicsandathleticsconsulting.com. Or you can follow me on Facebook at Academics and Athletic Consulting, or Twitter at Coach TWill24, or Instagram Travis L. Williams 24. Or you can call me at 404-542-6079. Once again, AAC is very proud to partner with J.R. McHenry of the Bossman Radio Show, covering sports and entertainment across the country. Please tune in weekly for informative, entertaining, and expert analysis on today's sports and entertainment topics. Thank you.
Back on the Bossman Show, the Wyoming Cowboys head coach Jeff Linder. Coach, what's up with you guys in Wyoming, man?
Well, that's a good question. With the quarantine, with the virus, it's been a little bit different. Every time us coaches take jobs, it's always crazy and hectic. Now you add a pandemic on top of that, and it makes it even more interesting. But luckily for me, when I was at Northern Colorado, in Greeley, Colorado, I'm only about a 90-minute, 90-mile drive up to Laramie. And the beauty of when you drive that way is that once you kind of get past Fort Collins, north of where I'm at, there's the only thing that's on the road are semis. So it's a pretty easy drive, and I've kind of just been making the long commute as little as possible. And that's, in some ways we're all adjusting as coaches, and kind of goes back to the old days when there was no telephone, no cell phones, there was no computers, and all you had to do was you got to get on the phone and you had to sell yourself. And so in that way, it's actually made it a little bit easier taking a job right now from a recruiting standpoint, because you're not just running around with the chicken with your head cut off, hopping on planes, going from here to there. You just got to make sure that you're just working the phones, you're at the right place at the time. And these kids, knowing that they're probably not going to be able to visit campuses anytime soon, they're making decisions quicker. And so you just got to be at the right place, right time.
I hear that. I know when you take a new job, Coach Linder, is usually like a 18-hour day sometimes. I'm about 20-hour day trying to work the phones, meet boosters, meet people, new people. So What has your day been like? It's not probably not. It's probably more hectic now than it would be typically because you can't see people. You have to Zoom, FaceTime, and call a lot. And I can't imagine how it is right. They're trying to hire a staff right now with this pandemic going on around us.
Well, luckily for me, it was I could just make the drive up for my virtual press conference. I really didn't have to do much other than just sign the contract and do a few little interviews. But with all these laws going on, you don't want to get too close to anyone. And so when I got the job, as opposed to have to glad hand and talk to a bunch of different people, my priority was on making sure that I saw 4 or 5 of the guys that I was looking to keep in the program that lived in the Colorado, Wyoming area. And I just got in my car and drove and made sure I got face to face with them to let them know that, what my plan and vision was for them moving forward in the program. And so by doing that, I thought that was actually a time a lot more well spent as opposed to kind of having to do all the things you do under normal circumstances when you get a job.
Yeah, especially being that close to you, like I'm soft air, like it's like a drive for me to drive to downtown Atlanta is out 30 minutes for me. So you get the actually a productive drive in that time period to get up to Laramie and see work it there. So, Coach, I know you had a great program in Northern Colorado. We talked about it a lot between you and I years you was there. So, you know how to build a program. So, is that how you kind of sold yourself to the Wyoming administration and say, hey, that's what I did here in Greeley with these guys, I can do it for you guys as well?
Yeah, I think they knew me quite well. I mean, one from my time as being the associate coach at Boise State for 6 years, being in the Mountain West, and then we had played Wyoming the last 3 years. We'd actually gone up there the last 3 previous years and beat them when I was at Northern Colorado. And so Coach Tom Berman, the AD, had a pretty good idea of who I was and what I was about. And the thing for me was I had a really good team coming back next year. I mean, a team that this past season was a top 75 team in the country, but I just knew that I could do all the same things that I did at Northern Colorado at Wyoming, but now I'm also being able to attract student athletes with an overall better conference. The Mountain West is a top 8 league in the country with resources and facilities that are Power 5, elite Power 5 level. And that's the thing that it really excited me is I wouldn't have to do anything different, but I think those things will allow me to attract just a little bit better player, hopefully, in the long run.
Yeah, and like you said, it's a great conference. One of my good buddies, Kyle Smith, coaches at Utah State. He gets the job done there. San Diego State is a top flight school in the country as well. So you're in a tough conference, a better conference, but hey, you're up to that challenge. I see you doing it in North Colorado, how you get stuff done. So like you said, what you did there, you can definitely do in Wyoming for sure. In the Mountain West with more resources and more access to players now.
No, there's no question. And we had played in a number of Mountain West teams when I was at Northern Colorado. I have a pretty, we scrimmaged Utah State twice, Coach Smith. And then we had played Colorado State, UNLV, and so we have a good idea of what the league's about. The league's changed a little bit from the time I was at Boise State. It's definitely gotten a little bit smaller, a little bit more athletic, and so it's just one of those deals where we're going to do what we do at Wyoming. We're going to find the right type of kids. You got to find the right guys that that fit the environment, fit the state. And the one thing about me is that, as college basketball's evolved, a lot more people become less interested, especially in terms of fan bases, alumni, just people in general, the communities, because a lot of ways there's so many other things going on, and it's so much easier to watch via your phone. But the one beauty of Wyoming is that we're the only 4-year school in the state, and so now there is no pro sports team. There is no Atlanta Braves or the Falcons or all the Hawks. I mean, you have. It's just the University of Wyoming. And so when you get that thing rolling, it's one of the very few places in the country where you get an entire state behind you. I'm not sure if there's very many places like that. I can think of like a West Virginia, Kansas a little bit, even though there's different 4-year schools. But I just think that if you could really tap into a pride and passion that really exists for a university within a state, I think that allows you to elevate the program.
And you know, being the big Scots, a lot of talented young men in the Northwest out there, man. Like your Eastern Washington, Montanas. You know how there's a job the hell they gave you when you was in the Big Sky. So, you know, you gave them hells back as well. But you know how the talent is in that league, and talent's out on the West Coast there. So you're in a great area to find great talent, and not that far away from talent in California, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, of course, Colorado as well. So I feel like you're in a great spot to recruit those high-level blue-chip guys, and also find some guys down the road and develop those young men into what you want them to be in year 3 and 4, maybe that 5th year if they redshirt you that first year.
Yeah, well, the one tough part about Wyoming is if you do draw about a 200-mile radius around Laramie, I mean, there's not gonna be a lot of dots of where there's guys good enough to help you win the Mountain West. Now, from time to time, there will be. I'm fortunate to have a few of those guys on my roster now, but you're definitely going to have to go into other people's backyard. You're going to have to go fish in different people's ponds, and so when you have to do that, you better have your assistants. They better have a really good idea as what the head coach wants. And I think my assistants know that there's a certain type of player I want to coach. There's certain type of guys that I want to see, and they know too if they put me in front of a guy that can't shoot, then it might cost them their job. Which I'm joking, but not joking. And so value guys that can really, really shoot the ball and guards that can really play. And that's what's been kind of our formula for success where I've been at. And hopefully we can continue to find those guys at the University of Wyoming.
Now, Coach, we do this COVID-19 pandemic, Coach. China, I feel like this also is very key for you guys, all you in the business now, is to keep guys in shape because you can't see the young men. They're on their own. They're at home, so somebody have a hoop around. They can get hoops. So give them exercise to keep them in shape without needing to use weights or bands or a hoop. So how has it been with the strength coach trying to kind of map out those, keep the guys in shape so they don't come back in August, September, and then just mush? You got to start from scratch for it, get them in shape to get ready to play ball for you in November.
Well, that's an interesting question. It's for me, I had to hire a strength coach, and so I brought my strength coach from the University of Northern Colorado, Jimmy Edel, who did a tremendous job in the 4 years I was there, and now with a roster where we're only returning 4 or 5 guys from last year's team, and now you add 8 or 9 new guys to the mix. It's logistically a little bit of a challenge, but I do think what you hope that you did is in the recruiting process you found guys that really like to play. I mean, I don't throw even guys. A lot of guys will tell you they love to play, but ultimately you find out at this level, very few really love it. There's a lot of guys that like it, but the ones that love it end up being the ones that are really, really good, or the guys that don't have as much talent but end up finding a way to play over guys that have talent but just kind of like, or just kind of go through the motions. And so I think hopefully we found the right guys in the short time we've been recruiting that they're going to find a way to get a ball in their hands. They're going to run around the neighborhood. They're going to stay in shape because they know that it's important to them. And that's where I think the biggest thing is just making sure that you find those guys that really can utilize their time the right way, because now you can just sit around all day and do nothing. Well, ultimately that's going to catch up to you in the long run if you're not doing something that's going to help you when this whole thing dies down, hopefully at some point here sooner than later.
The good thing about Wyoming, in my opinion, Coach, is that the guys can focus on their craft because there's not much to do out there other than go to school and hoop and ball. So hopefully they'll focus on their craft and get better because there's not much to do and get yourself in trouble out there.
No, there's no question. Now, the hard part, too, is sometimes where guys, they let their guard down when they start taking classes online. And as the case with me today with my internet, I mean, I have 4 kids and 3 of them are doing schoolwork online, and you take for granted a fast internet connection from your office, from the school that they provide. And so for these kids, they got to adjust a little bit too, because there's some of these guys are in environments where maybe they don't have a great Wi-Fi, or they're not having access to a computer. Some of those things that you think are they're just normal, but sometimes they're not. So luckily for us, we have a really good academic coordinator, and she's done a great job of just really staying in contact and staying on top of the guys that need to be stayed on top of, and just making sure that they just don't relax and let their guard down, because now they just kind of have all day long to just kind of sit around. And so making sure that they manage their time and just really keep some structure. I think that's the thing that these kids end up missing the most during this time, is just the structure of just the everyday of what it means to be a student athlete, and how that ultimately allows you to be a lot more successful in life with that ability to manage your time.
And that's what I got for you, Coach, is non-conference schedule. I know Wyoming was not that good last year, not the good they wanted to be the last few years. So I'm pretty sure it'll be easy to get games next year, of course, if they're not already booked for you from the previous staff. But, once you get this thing rolling again in the Mountain West, I feel like you have kind of an easier way to kind of schedule games because they can get guys to come out there and play you, hopefully 2-for-1s, maybe do some non-exempt tournaments and those right there as well, but also go on the road some. So how you see yourself going about the scheduling of these games here now that you take it over the scheduling there going forward?
Well, the thing is that we have, historically has been one of the toughest, Laramie's been one of the toughest places in the country to play in college basketball. And the all-time home winning percentage for the University of Wyoming at home is 76, 77%. You're playing at the highest Division I court in the land at 72-20 feet. I mean, you're almost 2,000 feet above sea level. Sea level. It's or mile high above sea level. So it's a big home court advantage, and it's a great job in the fact that I have a lot of resources to where I can buy games. I can play a lot of home games. And then it's like you said, you got to take advantage of the fact that people might perceive you as not being as good, next year, which I think might be a mistake. I think the guys that I return and the few of the pieces we had, we got a chance to kind of build off the momentum that those guys had at the end of the season in the Mountain West tournament when they made a really big run and got to the semifinals and lost into a really close game to Utah State. So we'll be strategic with that and make sure we put ourselves in the best position. But first and foremost, I had to put together a staff and then make sure I had enough guys to field a team. And now we're trying to piece together the puzzle of scheduling now.
Well, Coach, I told you out there that we had on your associate head coach, Steve Smiley, on the show. He talked very highly of you. So, let's do a favor. Let's tell us a little story about Coach Smiley here for our listeners who heard him yesterday on the show here.
Well, I mean, Coach Smiley, he earned the right to be the head coach of the University of Northern Colorado. He was a guy that when I took the job 4 years ago, he didn't blink or had wavered at all when he knew that we were walking into a really, really tough situation where we were going to have NCAA sanctions, postseason bans, scholarship losses. We had a lot of excuses for not being good early on in Northern Colorado, but we never let the circumstances define us, the situation define us. Always is like, hey, let's just try to find a way. And Coach Smiley's a guy that just brings tremendous energy every day. He's just an everyday guy, and that's all. And that's what you want from your assistants is guys that you can just count on to show up every day, bring great energy, and just try to do their job as well as they can. And he allowed me to be a better coach, a better head coach by taking a lot of things off my plate that I didn't want to deal with. And so he's inheriting, which I'm glad he is. And sometimes ADs are not smart enough to realize that the best guy for the job is the one that's sitting there right to the right of the coach. And he's been a head coach before. He knows the job, and I think he'll do an unbelievable job and hopefully does a better job of even what I did as the head coach.
Well, Coach, I'm happy for you to get this job at Wyoming. I hope Georgia State or Mercer or Georgia Tech will play you. And so you come out here to the ATL and enjoy some good hot weather here, man, in the near future, Coach.
There's no question. There's been some good players that have come from down south that have made their way up to Laramie. And so if the opportunity presents itself, we'll definitely try to get down that way. And if we do, hopefully we'll see you at the game.
Well, Coach, I'm friends with most of these guys. I can talk to Josh or Mir and Greg and Rob and hopefully get something done for you in the intermediary for you. Hopefully I can get something done for you, Coach.
Hey, I'm just going to outsource scheduling, TJ. You can see what the real pain is in college basketball. That's scheduling.
Oh, I can only imagine. Hey, Coach, best of luck to you, man. Stay safe out there, Wyoming. Talk to you real soon, buddy.
Thanks, JR. Talk to you later.
Anytime. Just Jeff Linder on the Bossman Show.
Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to do 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh, Family Grind, ENT. Believe in it, get it.
A gorgeous tan from Suntan City gives you an inner glow that relights the fire when you run into your first crush.
Vicky, who was that?
An old boyfriend.
Lucky you just tanned at Suntan City.
Lucky he's single. We're doing lunch tomorrow.
Won't be single for long then.
During Tour of the City, try all 5 tans, including spray tan, for just $4.99. Restrictions may apply. Click to buy now.
When you're a teen, you finally get to make some of your own decisions. Who are you going to hang out with? What do you want to be? Are you going to glance at that text while driving? Remember, a split second is all it takes for something tragic to happen. Be in the zone. Turn off your phone. Visit childrenshospital.vanderbilt.org/BITZ to learn more about our teen driver safety program. Brought to you by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt, the Ford Motor Company Fund, and the Allstate Foundation.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay. Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
Yeah, it's your man JC, the host with the most, baby, and it goes down each and every Saturday night right here in the city of Memphis. That's right, y'all. It goes down at Clicks Sports Bar Memphis, baby. 3705 Malco Way, Memphis, Tennessee, 38125. Come out and join us, the Three Kings, each and every Saturday night for the livest karaoke in the city. Everybody gets in free till 10 p.m. Only $5 after. Great food. We got drink specials. We got all kind of games, man. We got the pool tables popping. Whatever you want, we got you, man. Come on out. Have a good time with us each and every Saturday night. That's Clicks Sports Bar, Memphis.